Hello, everyone. Good evening or good morning in other parts of the world, or good more night, as we say in the Philippines. For those of you in Manila or still up, joining us live, hello to all of you. Yeah, I've just came back from Leeds. There's a record fair there, the Corn Exchange. It's absolutely amazing, and the organizers of the event, Record Plant in Leeds, they're absolutely amazing. So I just want to say hello to shout out to Record Plant. Thank you so much for letting me go and have a stall there in Leeds. But anyway, so I'm back now. That's the reason why we're late today, because normally we do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but we're late because of that. This week's guest, oh my God, she's absolutely amazing. I saw her twice this summer. One at first time was at Glasgow's Pop, and the band that she was in. I mean, I can tell you that everybody who was at Glasgow's Pop in July, they will tell you that they were one of the highlights of this year's music festival. So that was really good. And then the following month, when they had Preston Pop Fest in Preston, of course, again, as I want to say hello to David Chambers, because he also said that the band that our guest played in, they were also one of the highlights um, at this year's Preston Pop Fest. So yeah, and I do agree with David. So hello, David Chambers, who's also a brilliant drummer as well. Um, and other pop indie pop bands in Preston in the 80s and 90s. But anyway, so she's here now. So my dear friends, please welcome Jennifer Hamilton.
Hello.
Yay! Hello, Jennifer. Oh, is
Hello.
it Jen? Shall I say Jen? Is it?
Either
And,
is fine.
yeah,
Jen or Jennifer. I don't really have a preference. So Jen is quicker. It's more efficient, I guess.
yeah, sure.
So we could go for that.
How are you since those two Glasgow's Pop and Preston Pop Fest?
I'm
How?
good. I'm a bit nervous. I'm just gonna say that just now. Like, what an amazing welcome. Like, I've never really done something like this before, but I'm really good. Like it's been just an amazing summer, really, to be drumming in bands again because I had a bit of a gap when I wasn't, and then I had that opportunity to play with Olympic State Choir, and like I've known a lot of people in that band for a while, and
Yeah,
the songs
yeah,
are great. And Glasgow's Pop, it was like I felt like coming home, you know. Just what a wonderful weekend, and then
yeah.
getting to go down to Preston. I haven't been there before. It was a beautiful sunny day. I wish we could have stayed longer, but we had to get back up to Glasgow. People in the band working very early the next morning, but
Yeah.
it was joyous really, and just been busy hoping to get more drumming and since really.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is a really good. I mean, I love Glasgow's Pop. I go there. Well, I missed 1 year because I was not well, but
Oh,
I love going there every year. And Preston Pop Fest, every time Rico has the festival, then I will go, definitely go there. Anyways, Aiden O'Rourke said sound and vision great, which is good. Aiden is our tech support, so it's good to know
nice.
that everything's fine. Um, so I'm really glad that the clock went back an hour because we had
Mhm.
an extra hour
Extra
of
extra sleep. Always appreciated. Yes.
it's always good to have an extra hour of sleep, especially Friday night or Friday I was in Glasgow. So
Been
and then
all over.
and then the bus broke down on the way back to Manchester. So I was like an extra 3 hours so like
Oh
on the
no.
motorway. But it was fine. So I got
Yeah.
back home and then from home I went to work and then, and then back home again. But
That's
anyways, yeah, that
hardcore.
extra
It's inspirational. It's inspirational. I love it.
the extra hour of sleep for me, that's just absolutely amazing. So
Absolutely.
yeah, but anyway, so welcome to Ask the Drummer. Episode 188 is all about you, Jennifer Hamilton. So where are the Hamiltons from?
Oh, well, there's a lot of us. I don't know how interrelated we all are. That's the wrong word. But yeah, like my dad grew up in an old mining town, in like between Glasgow and Edinburgh called Hart Hill. I know surprisingly little about his side of the family because he's an only child, and my grandparents had passed when I was before I was born. Although my middle name is named I'm named after my gran. Although I probably shouldn't say it on camera because middle names are used for password protection, aren't they? So I might hold off on that. I just I'm already screwing up here, sorry. But yeah, very. I think that if you go back a couple of generations, I've definitely Ireland as well. Yeah,
Oh,
for
right.
sure.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. But you were born in Glasgow?
I was
Born in
born in I was born in Paisley, which is sort of satellite
Iceland?
town to Glasgow. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, I mean Paisley is a pretty amazing town in its own right for sort of musicians and actors coming out of there. As well.
yeah,
Obviously, more
yeah,
recently, I guess people like Paolo and but then Jerry Rafferty and such. So,
yeah.
and and I still I don't live in Paisley anymore, but I still work in Paisley, and it's a town that's really close to my heart. So for
Oh,
sure.
see. Well,
Yeah.
I know Close Lobsters. They're from Paisley.
There you
Uh,
go. Oh wow. Okay, I actually didn't know that. Wow. See, honestly, it's every now and then. Oh, they're from Paisley too. Like honestly, we're hitting some pretty amazing
yeah,
goals as a town, you know. So yeah.
yeah. The reason why I remember is I went there after seeing them at Glasgow's Pop. No, I saw them first at Preston Pop. And then I
Hmm.
saw them at Glasgow's Pop. And then when I found out that they're from Paisley, so, oh, I'm going to go there. And then, you see, that's what I do. It's like
Hmm.
Jerry Love, when I found out that Jerry Love, was born and grew up in Motherwell. His
Yeah.
hometown is Motherwell. So I recently went to Motherwell to see what it's like.
Nice. There you go. Well, if you ever want a tour of Paisley, I would be happy to show. I mean, there's always like quite a lot of good stuff going on there. Anyway, like the art center, like they've often got some quite good gigs on. Like
Yeah.
it used to be called like
Oh,
Paisley Underground. It's called something else now.
yeah.
And yeah, there's always some interesting stuff going on. Plus,
Yeah.
actually, just architecturally, it's a really beautiful town as well. It has its problems, but a lot of like Scottish towns do. But it's got a lot of
Yeah.
great art coming out of it. So
Yeah. Well, Sushil from the Soup Dragons, he does his gigs there in Paisley. I think it's
that's
last.
right. That's
So
right. Yeah.
there's gonna be one Halloween on the 31st. Yeah, and Jerry
Yeah.
Love is actually DJing there.
That's
So
pretty special.
yeah, it's gonna be. But I just said that Halloween is not really a good time for me to like, because I think they encourage people to dress up. So if you're gonna go to the gig, because I was speaking to the courts about it, so they're gonna dress up and they want people to like go to the gig as with the Halloween costume. And I don't like that kind of thing.
Me neither. I don't like that either. Like I'm really bad at costumes. Like even growing up, a sheet, just like be or wrap myself in tinfoil and be a robot. And now I just try and avoid it if I can. I really admire people who've got the artistry to do stuff like that. But
It
yeah, I
wasn't
can relate.
really. Yeah, it wasn't big here in the UK. I remember 30 years ago when I came here. I mean, they didn't really dress up for Halloween at that time. I think it's just a
Mm,
more maybe recent thing. Because I
yeah.
didn't do that when I was a kid. I don't think we were big. We were big on Halloween as a kid in the Philippines. I mean,
Oh,
that's where I'm
okay.
from. Yeah.
Is
So
Halloween a thing in the Philippines, out of curiosity? Like, do you have your own version of celebration for it? Because here we have like guys going around the doors to get
no,
sweets and such.
no. I mean, I don't remember dressing up as a kid as on Halloween or something. I think it's more like an American tradition. But I think nowadays they do celebrate it as well, in the Philippines. But
Oh.
anyways, yeah, I'm not really keen because I like on my way to work yesterday, I saw this sort of like hand. It was quite scary. It was around the corner. I was like, oh my god, what's that? And then I saw this thing, and it was like, goodness me. It's better not to take
Don't like
part.
a jump scare. I don't like a jump scare at all, if that can be
Yeah,
avoided.
I'm the
Yeah.
same. Although I do love watching horror films,
Okay, okay, okay.
which is, which
I
I
have
don't
then.
know.
I don't even like to do that, to be honest. I can avoid.
Oh, you don't
No, total wimp. Happy to admit it. Don't watch horror films, really.
Oh no, okay. Well, I know it's a bit weird that I love watching horror films and yet I don't like anything of those. So, like,
I love
but anyway,
contradiction. Sorry.
yeah. Music scene in Paisley when you were growing up. So
Yeah, I mean, like, so, um, it was weird for me, I guess, because like when I was younger, so I grew up in a town near Paisley called Linwood, which is a much smaller town and kind of post-industrial. I guess there was a car factory at one point, and then it was gone. So it was quite, certainly quite deprived when I was growing up. So there wasn't certainly much music going on there to
yeah.
begin with. And so what I became aware of, a lot of that came later, especially once I went to college, and that really opened my eyes to what was going on. But prior to that, I mean, I can go into it at some point, like the way I learned drums, but was like through local community groups. And actually, I kind of became aware of the jazz scene, but that was more in Glasgow
Okay.
as well. I know that's changed. I think in Linwood now, some of the local venues are doing more gigs, which I was really happy to see because it's a town that, like, at one point, I don't know if you've ever heard of I think it's called the Carbuncle Award, and they
Oh,
award it to the most, I believe, dismal town in either Scotland or the whole UK. And Linwood won it about 10 years ago. So they
oh,
wanted to win it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so
yeah.
for investment, so I think things are a bit better. Like, and I think there's stuff going on a wee bit more than there was, sort of thing. But um, you know, uh, I heard a mishmash really, but it was a bit later when I went to my first gig, which I think was probably like something at the Glasgow Jazz Festival. But
Oh,
everything else, like all the other stuff that
yeah,
that I found out about was later for me, sadly. But I'm glad I found it. Yeah.
yeah. You're not from a musical family. Oh,
I am kind of.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. My dad's a really, really a really capable classical guitarist, but he's also like, I don't know if it's a shyness, but he's never really played gigs. He used to teach in his 20s, but then he kind of went off and became an engineer, software engineer instead. So I used to, really, really good. Like he would sit just playing Bach and Spanish guitar pieces on the stairs at home, but it was always just for him. And my sister's got a great singing voice, but I don't really hear her use it much. So there's music in my family,
Oh,
but I
okay.
guess I'm the first one that probably kind of decided to do a bit more. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think maybe we're just a very shy family, which I think is probably
Oh,
quite cute. Yeah. Hope they don't mind me saying that.
am I right in thinking though that drums wasn't your first like instrument? Because I don't know if I got the right. Because when I was doing a script, I looked for it. I always use Google, and I also use Discogs, and I found the Jennifer Hamilton on Discogs, and I wasn't
Uh-huh.
sure whether it's actually you or not until I saw the photos, and there's one of you drumming there. So I said, "Oh yeah, this is definitely Jennifer Hamilton." So, but the other bands that's listed there that you were a part or a member of those bands or played in, this musicians sort of like album, you weren't playing drums in those, like the first this early ones, which is Julia and the Dugans, and so you
Uh-huh.
keyboards and you were doing vocals. So in the early days, you weren't playing drums. Is that right?
Kind of full circle. Started on drums and percussion way back when I was 10. And
Oh,
then piano came later, and then piano continued, and then drums came back, and it became. I mean, I don't really, I think percussion's my first love, and it's my main love in a lot of ways. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like I learned percussion in a local like community group when I was about 10 years old. And so that was definitely my first thing. It was kind of modeled on. Have you heard of like it's called drum corps? It's like an American drumming activity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's quite intense. So we were like the only like Scottish drum corps, I
Yeah,
think at the time, and so just like learning in a church hall in Linwood, and it was very exciting. Like we were just like I remember the first day I turned up and. They had the pit percussion section with like marimbas and xylophones and glockenspiels and drums and all these different percussion instruments. And I
yeah.
ended up in front of a xylophone, and they were like showing me a wee part. And as I heard it all come together, I think that's when I felt sort of fell in love with music, I guess, because I thought this sounds amazing, just playing music with people. And
Yeah.
as a socially awkward 10-year-old, it felt easier than trying to talk to them. So I guess I got quite a lot out of doing that. And so like percussion came first, but then later that band became a jazz big band, which is a whole other long story. And they needed a piano player, and so I learned piano in that. Again, kind of a long story.
Oh, I see. But you really started on percussion and drums. That's the main thing. But you
I think
didn't.
it's my big love. Yeah.
But you didn't join a band. Those are like most drummers, when they were young and they learned how to play the drums. Then they formed the band. But with you, it's more so like in a like a big like a community thing. When you play drums and percussion.
Definitely for a long time in my teens, because again, referring back to aforementioned social awkwardness, I think that just generally, like, I would have loved to do something like form a band like that, but I think I would have struggled to know how about it, how to go about it, and that was one really good thing about when I went to college, which was in my sort of early 20s, because then it
Yeah.
was, I think that's when I got the chance to really, start forming bands with people who liked a lot the same music, and found out like just how much amazing music is coming out of Glasgow, and got to meet all these amazing people. So like that kind of came later, because I think until that point I didn't really know how to, I struggled to know how to go about it essentially. And so that was a big moment, I guess.
Yeah,
Going to
yeah.
college.
So you did all the paradiddles, and you learned all those like proper drum lessons and percussion lessons and all that.
I mean, like in the drum corps, we didn't always call them that, and I think it was quite. There was a kind of militaristic element to it, which is kind of funny because it's not something I would really like, but at the same time, I learned really fast. Like, so a lot of learning things really fast, a lot of 16ths, a lot of playing really fast runs up and down on the keyboards. But,
Yeah.
I think that the rudiments came out a bit later. Like, I did have a couple of drum tutors like in high school. It was more sporadic really, and I had one who was very rudiment focused. He was showing me all the paradiddles and things like that. Although my favorite drum tutor at school was probably a guy, I can't remember his first name. It was either Stuart or Scott. I remember he was Mr. Semple, because that's back when you called them by their surname, and he was like a jazz drummer, and he was getting us to do some really quite fun stuff and getting out jazz standards for us to try. So I really enjoyed that because it felt like it was a step away from just copy paste. It felt like you got the chance to be a bit more creative. So that was really good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
before I ask you about all the bands that you played drums in, I wanted to ask you first about the ones I've mentioned where you played keyboards, piano, and also did the vocals as well. So the first one, which is, I think this is the earliest one, Laura St. Jude.
Yeah.
So is that your first sort of like, which is more acoustic, right? It's not like a rock band. Is it like a folk acoustic kind of thing, or how
I've always found it hard to pin her down. Like I've played with Laura on drums since like 2009. So I think arguably, like, I met her when I was at college, so she was in the year below me, and so like the kind of music we've played together has kind of evolved over the years. I would say we were quite indie poppy at first, and then we tried some psychedelic folk. We were doing like a Pentangle and Steel Eye Span, and it was great, getting all witchy. And then she kind of started like doing more of her own songs, and it's quite sort of I've always struggled to fully define rather her music, maybe sort of more film noir Tarantino-esque sort of, so drumming for her, I was drumming for her though as well, and doing backing vocals like for the most part. And she's sort of not done too much in the last few years, but she's great. She's just such a wonderful person. She's also really great to sing harmonies with. And I always also felt like she wasn't looking for really intense drumming. She wanted things that were more complementary and more sort of supportive and more kind of jazzy, which really suited me, because I think I've always preferred to be that kind of a drummer. So it was good. I wasn't really using regular drumsticks a lot. I was using a lot of brushes, and just sort of just complementing what was there.
So I don't know if I'm actually doing it like chronologically, because I'm just
okay.
following from the Discogs, from your Discogs.
I'd forgot there was a Discog there. Like somebody had put a picture up, and I was like, It was a picture. It was a picture from a music video that Laura, and I was like, who put that? It's like, it's me like in a, it's not even a veil. It was like a weird video that we did, and I was meant to represent good, and she was meant to represent, I don't know, not evil, it's something else. But, and so I'm wearing a veil and like really thick makeup, and I've got flowers and stuff.
Yeah,
It's not really a veil. It's actually a shower curtain. That's a wee, but it was, I was like, somebody's, fair enough. Like, it was so weird, but I did kind of change a bit because I was feeling, I mean, I guess it's just a weird picture for me. So,
it's good though, because I wasn't sure whether I'm getting the right Jennifer Hamilton. But then when I saw the third one, which is a black and white photo of you, with the drum kit,
yeah.
then I realized, yeah, this is the one. So I'm just gonna ask you about these bands, but I don't know if it's so Laura St. Jude, was she the first one that you played in, like a proper, so like I don't know, like proper drummer or proper musician?
Yeah, I would say arguably, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say arguably, yeah. Like, definitely. I mean, like in college, I wanted to do more drumming. I was always like, please give me more bands to drum in. You know, like I was kind of probably trying to take on too much. But I think that in terms of like, I think like definitely Laura was the first, and continued just because we got on so well, and I just, you know. It's funny actually because it turned out we had like technically previous, because Laura, she was in a past life like a really, really good Irish dancer, and it turned out that when I was in the jazz band in my teens, she was dancing at the same event that I was playing at, you know, maybe back when she was 13 or 14, and it's like, you were there, and she'd actually recognize me. I didn't recognize her because the Irish dancers have the big hair and the outfits and everything.
Yeah.
So we go way back, even though we didn't know it, you know. It was just yeah.
Well, the next one I'm going to ask you is Julia and the Dugans. And I believe the singer is Julia Dugan. That's why it's called Julia and the Dugans.
Yeah, it's a good name. I think it works. Yeah, I am a Dugan, sort of adopted Dugan, essentially, which kind of makes sense because it's an Irish name. And as I said, I'm at least I'd like to think a bit Irish. And yeah, like I played, actually, it was. I must credit John Horgate with quite a lot of things, because he was the one who put me on to the fact that Julia was looking for a piano player, and this was back. It was back in the times of MySpace, so I'm pretty sure I messaged her on MySpace and said, "Hey, can I come play piano?" I didn't say it like that. I said it more confidently, and came and played piano for Julia. And you know, we haven't done stuff in a little while, but every now and then we'll come back. And do things. And her songs, she's just such a beautiful songwriter. And you know, especially there was a point where it was, so she's on acoustic guitar, I was doing piano and backing vocals, sometimes a little percussion. We had Renata on cello, and we've had various people on flute like Caroline and Renata, and then we've had others join. And I always, being in a band with a cello was magic to me. Just again, it's music with a lot of space in it, and it's just really lush and beautiful. So I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
And do you still see them, or are they still around, or they
yeah.
Stop? Yeah, they're still
kind of. Julia's, I mean, she's one of those creative people that seems to be good at every creative endeavor she does. So she's kind of moved. She's doing less music, I think, now. She's a really great graphic designer. So that's I think that's kind of her main creative outlet at the moment. But I think she always knows that I'm always up for doing things. And I see her relatively often because we both live in the south side of Glasgow. So she's a good pal. Yeah.
But at the moment, that's not like there's no plans, so like doing gigs and everything. So
not presently, but you know, down the line.
Well, there's another one, Natalie Price. It's also on your Discogs entry that I think you did vocals on her album as well, or something, or yeah.
That would be the one that's like that was really weird, but like really fun. It was like so Natalie Price, they don't really stick to one genre. That's like Mark Swan, and Roisin Murray, his partner, basically. That was a sort of synthesizer-y, sort of dystopian album based on things like cryptocurrency and stuff. And so he was under the alter ego like Ronnie Rocket and the 50,000 volts. So I was
Oh,
doing backing vocals like and tambourine on that, and then you had Sam Smith from Green Door on synthesizers as well, and it was a recording, and we did one gig I think at the 13th Note, which is sadly no longer
oh yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah, it was really that was great. It was I wore like I think we all wore like matching suits on stage, and I was hitting the tambourine so hard that I had big bruises down my leg at the end of it. But
oh, cool.
uh, yeah, they're always doing, and they're always like they're just such a prolific band. They're constantly doing interesting stuff, and I mean right now they're doing quite a lot of country music, so they've gone in a different direction from cryptocurrency.
Well, there's one band that I actually do know because I mean I've got to be honest that I haven't heard of the others or like musicians, but there's one that you're in this band on you're part of this band. And I do know this one because I've managed to find singles, like 7-inch singles of this band, Wake the President. And so I looked it up, and you're a member there. But did you play drums in Wake the President? Or because they've no, okay, because there's another one that's listed. I think Scott is the name of the other guy that's listed as the drummer for Wake the President or something. But it's funny because there's one. The reason why I got interested in it because there's a song called Bill Drummond, and I think that's the one that you're involved in. You did backing vocals, I think, in on Bill Drummond.
Yeah. So well, I was in Wake the President for a couple of years. I think by the time I was in, I remember hearing the original recordings, and Scott was the original drummer. But by the time I was in, it was a guy called Dave, a fantastic, like really good drummer. And with Wake the President, I was from like a long time ago now, 2011, 2013, and got to go around and do lots of pop fests, which was amazing just to get to these sorts of gigs. And we did that recording. I want to say it might have been in Sabah, and I got to do backing vocals, but actually also like a bit of keys, and I managed to get my vibraphone on some stuff, which I was very excited about because I've always wanted to use that on a recording. And Bill Drummond was the name of it, and actually because like Eric and Bjorn Sandberg from the bands, like lovely chaps. Eric got me. I managed to meet Bill Drummond through Eric. Ended up in one recording session in Green Door, like with Bill Drummond, Eric Sandberg, and a guy on bagpipes who, forgive me, I can't remember his name, and it was one of the strangest experiences. Like I'm brilliant, but like it's like, how did I end up here? With this legendary musician. So I can't remember much from that recording session. Like I don't know for sure what happened with it. I just remember playing organ on it and Bill Drummond asking me to play the organ a bit more belligerently. And I didn't really know how to. I was okay, how do I be more belligerent on the organ? I'm not quite sure. I need to really think about that. It was great.
Well, I do remember Bill Drummond from the KLF when they were sort of like burning all those money. It was like
yeah. Well, you should check it. The music video is great for it. Eric went to the island where they burned the money, and he goes round it, and he's like interviewing a bunch of people, but just like with the subtitles and with the song. It's really funny. Like, yeah, it's really good.
Video though, because I didn't watch the video. But I think it's just the singer who's going around, and So you didn't go to that. No.
I'm not really. I mean, if people, I guess I would consider it. I mean, this is such a weird thing for me to do because the idea of being on a music video kind of scares me a bit. So, I don't know. Like, it's not really the kind of thing I would usually like. I feel a bit too self-conscious. Like,
Well, I did a bit of digging about Wake the President, and I found out that the label who released Wake the President, Bill Drummond, is Electric Honey, and I found out that it's actually Ken McCluskey's and Douglas McIntyre's label. And I was all like, when I found out Douglas McIntyre, I was like, he's everywhere.
You're making me remember things I totally forgot. Because like Eric and Bjorn knew them, I'm pretty sure, because they went to college, same as I did, and studied music. So, and that's where I think they released music on Electric Honey. And a few years ago now, when Bjorn got married, I got to play some piano at it, and Ken McCluskey came and sang at it, and Douglas McIntyre was playing at it too. So they're still good friends, like, as well. Like, it's all, Glasgow's such a village, isn't it? I say
Oh,
Glasgow, I don't live in Glasgow anymore, but
so what's happened with Wake the President? Are they still playing, or is that it? Have they disbanded?
I mean, like, if they ever get in touch and say, hey, want to do a reunion, I'd be up for it. But I think it's just that I think maybe it ran its course, and, like, I think, everyone in the band's kind of got their own things they're doing now. And so sometimes things just run their course. And I think that was kind of maybe just what happened with that, and like Bjorn, as far as I remember now, he's living in London, he's working with Domino Records and such, and Eric's in Sweden, it's like, people are, doing other things now. So it was a great time, but it was great fun.
Yeah, if they decide to sort of like do it again, like,
I'd be open to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the next one now, because I thought you just changed from doing pianos, keyboards onto the drumming, because the other thing that I found out is in 2024 you played drums in Stephen Pastel's This Is Memorial Device.
That's right. Yeah. yeah. That was that was really, it was in Kev 19, because Stephen Pastel, I mean, I've known him for a few years. I even got the chance to do some Tubular Bells on on a couple of their songs, but that was like a live thing, and so yeah, when they were doing the recording, it was Stephen and Gav Thompson, who's my partner actually as well. Like, they were working on this album, and so I know they were getting the Pastels involved in it, and I think they wanted just like a bit more drums, and I think maybe a wee bit of like xylophone and marimba on there as well. So I got the chance to go into the studio and do that, and like hear it, because I'd already heard a lot of the music in the stage show. You had Paul Higgins in it from The Thick of It. It was great, because I didn't know much about the book beforehand, but so it's just such a great story as well, and it felt kind of weird to do, because then This Is Memorial Device didn't really have, like, it wasn't quite clear who they were meant to be, so I should hide my face, I'm just like drumming on one song, but yeah.
Well, I didn't know about it, but it's just that I remember I think it was last year that they did like a series of like live shows, and they've received very, very good reviews about, like, and also being, it's got Stephen Pastel, so like,
yeah,
of course,
it's gonna be good, it's gonna be good.
That's a legend, so like,
yeah.
So Gavin is your partner, and is that what you said? Like, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's,
so he already knows that you're a drummer. You can do it. So and also I found out that it's like you said. I didn't know about This Is Memorial Device. At first, I thought it was actually the name of the band, but it's not, because it's a book. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, because I've heard about it, but I didn't realize that you were also part of that one. And I really thought that that's what got you into drumming, being involved in This Is Memorial Device. These bands or the musicians that I mentioned earlier, you were all doing like singing, vocals and piano and keyboard. So from there, which was last year, wasn't it? This Is Memorial Device. Mm-hmm. And then did you do any other drumming before the Glasgow's Pop with Olympic State Choir?
Probably not. No. Because as well as drumming, I do other things, like like I'm running a not Olympic State Choir, but a local community choir with my partners. So drumming, no. Other things, yeah. But no, this was just a great thing that came up, because I've really had an ambition to be playing more drums again, and play drums in a band for a while, especially sort of post-pandemic, because everything kind of stopped at that point, and so it was just more of a really happy chance to get to do something like that, really. And yeah.
So how did you get involved in because it's quite it's quite a mystery for everyone because I believe even the organizers of Glasgow Spot, they don't really know who are these Olympic State Choir. Because I remember when they posted it, we've got an additional band for the lineup, and they're
Hmm.
called Olympic State Choir, and the singer uh, was in a band called The Cloud.
Yeah, John Charnley. Yeah.
Yeah, John Charnley, and I mean, not many people really know about it. And Glasgow Spot, I believe, was your first performance as a band. So, how did you get together? Like, how was it formed?
Well, even I don't know the full story. I only know the part from where I joined, so I can't reveal all the mystery. But because I think they were already doing things, and I think there was a while where they weren't sure if they wanted to have an in-person drummer or not because they wanted the songs to have a lot of space. I think but I already knew quite a few. I knew John Hogarty from college and from work, and I knew
Yeah,
Finlay MacDonald as well. But I think like JC, John Charnley was considering getting but I think he was just concerned about having someone he wanted something that was going to be complementary to what they were doing, and John suggested that I might be a good fit. Sent me some demos, and I came to rehearsal, and I met the others, Sonny on bass, and Duffy also on keys,
yeah,
and um yeah, I don't really know more behind that. I mean, I think there's probably a lot more story. I heard the music and thought these are great songs, and I think I could do something that would complement it, and that's kind of what happened. Sorry.
no, that's fine, 'cause I don't know if the impact that the band made on everyone who was there. I think everyone was like, "Oh wow, who are these?" And I think everyone was trying to find footage of it. I only managed to get one because I didn't realize how short the set that was going to be. Because normally there'll be at least 8 songs, so
Mhm.
like something like that. And I thought, okay, I'll record the third sort like song, and then
Mhm.
I was waiting for the sixth song, and I think you only did 5 or something like that, and then that's it, it's finished, and I was like,
Short and sweet.
yeah. But anyways, you're gonna be doing it again, because
Yes,
20th of November, you're
that's
gonna,
right.
yeah,
Mhm.
you're gonna be playing at Oranmore with Snow Goose,
That's
and
right. Yeah, and Lavinia Blackwell as well from Trembling Bells. So, which is really exciting because I love both, like musically as well. Like I've seen Lavinia with Trembling Bells, but I've not seen her do her solo stuff. So
yeah,
I can't wait for that. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really fun.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't know. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
yeah, I'm gonna be there for sure.
Yeah.
I do want to find out more because I mean, are you gonna be doing like at least more songs than what you did in what you did at Glasgow Spot, maybe?
Have to wait and see.
Yeah,
She said mysteriously.
I am really looking forward to that gig, and
Yeah.
it's good because any I don't know whether I should ask you this, but any other plans apart from that gig on the 20th of November? That like maybe new releases, or are you doing an album or things like that?
I would definitely like to. I would definitely love to go into the studio and record, somewhere maybe somewhere like Green Door, because I've always loved Green Door and like Sam Smith and what they do there. So I would like to. Um, I would be lying if I said I knew anything definite so far. Again, I'm not being purposefully vague, but I hope so. I really
Yeah,
hope so because
yeah,
it would be really good to record with them. They're
yeah.
great songs and they're like nice people. So yeah, here's
Well,
hoping.
I spoke to John Charnley after your set, and I saw him. I actually sort of like followed him because I thought he was gonna leave. He was walking downstairs, and I thought, "Oh no, no, wait!" Because I wanted to ask for a photograph, and also I wanted to ask him about Olympic State Choir because
Hmm.
that's because it's such a mysterious band and everything. So he did say that they've got an Instagram account, or you've got an Instagram account. So
That's
follow
right.
it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you'll know more about what the next thing about Olympic State Choir. So
Mhm,
so
mhm.
I think that's the best thing is anyone who's on Instagram, if you follow Olympic State Choir, then you'll find out whether they're going to be doing album or any more gigs lined up. But definitely November 20th is the next one.
Yep,
And
that's for sure.
yeah, and people should just go. They should go. I mean, not just the indie pop like fans. It's just really, I don't know. It's like, oh my god. It's like I think everyone was just surprised. It was like how good this band is. And then of course, I did see you. I think you left early. I don't know. I did see you after your set, but I think you went straight for the green room or something. So I wasn't able to ask for a photograph. And,
Social awkwardness coming into play again. Sometimes that, or if it's just after, I just need to take a sec. So, because otherwise I can ramble on more than I've already done so far. So that was probably all. But yeah, I was glad to meet you properly at Preston, though. That was good.
Yeah, that's right. That's the next one. I was really surprised when I saw you at Preston Pop Fest because I thought you were Olympic State Choir. But then when National Park came on stage and you were there, I was like, oh my god, that's the drummer from Olympics. So, because I have seen National Park last year when they did 2 nights supporting Jerry Love, and it was funny because that day, the first night. Uh, Before the gig, I actually went to Missing Records, and I saw Simon Shaw.
Simon, of course, yeah.
Because Simon Shaw works there, and
That's right.
and then when I saw him on stage, I was like, "Oh my god, that's the guy who served me at Missing Records."
He's on stage. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah. And they had Eiley Rogers.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, Ailey's a fantastic drummer. Like, definitely one of my inspirations. Yeah. Because she's in Sacred Paws as well. I want to say.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I was expecting to see Ailey at Preston Pop Fest because when so I was really looking forward to seeing National Park, and I thought, I'm glad that I'm gonna see them again. And then I saw it's Olympics.
That's not Ailey. Who's this? Who's this imposter? No, I mean I was really nervous like to do it because I love Ailey's drumming, and obviously like John's had like not just like one great drummer previous, but also two, at least two, because like there was Michael McLaughlin like before that. And so like when he asked me, like I was a bit like imposter syndrome, to be honest. I wasn't sure if that's like I'm not worthy, but like I was glad I said yeah. I think I was like I think I was trying to imitate what Ailey was doing a lot in the beginning, but I think there was a point where John said just sort of like be yourself, and actually that was one of the best pieces of advice I could have got. So kind of I'm not trying to be like Ailey because no one can be Ailey, like, but like it's just really fun playing in a band with them because they're just really, again, I keep saying this sort of stuff, but they're really nice people. You've got John and Simon and Finn on second guitar as well. So and that's I guess 3 gigs we've done now. So
really are you already a fan of National Park?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
The drum parts of it. So it's not like, it took you a while to learn all the drumming parts of the National Park songs.
Well, I knew about National Park like years ago, back when I was at college. That's when I first met John, and I was aware that he was in the band National Park, and I went and bought some EPs like the Future Pilot, AKA, and the other compilation, the Geographic compilation, and so I always loved like the songs that I heard. Always wanted there to be more. There weren't that many. That was the thing. I was like, there's only a few songs I could find, but but I think that when John asked me as well, like he gave me playlists. He gave me like, I think we've worked together for quite a few years anyway, me and John. So we've got quite a good shorthand. He just sort of kind of explained what he was looking for, and like. So I think that worked kind of well, and so I had the recordings, but then to be honest it's changed quite a bit since then anyway, just like I'm not really using. I'm using more like things like timpani mallets and I've got these like broomsticks I've been using then a wee bit more as well. You
Oh,
know, like instead of
yeah,
regular sticks, you know, just sort of more jazzy, more complimentary, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
good.
Because I don't know why. Because when I saw him at Preston, no, I saw him at Glasgow's Pop. Because he also played John. I mean, we're talking about John. That he
Yeah,
played in the Olympic State Choir, right?
that's
He was,
right. Mhm.
and then he played with the Pastels.
That's right.
And I was thinking,
Yeah.
I've seen him before, but I couldn't remember where I saw him. It was like, because I didn't know about National Park until they supported Jerry Love. And of course, I went to both gigs because yeah, I'm a big Jerry Love fan. So it's like,
Of course.
so, and then I'm trying to figure out where have I seen him before? And I was just looking at him. And then, of course, at Preston, Preston Pop Fest. And it's like, oh my God, that's him. It was like the one who played in the Olympic State Choir and also with the Pastels. It's
Mhm.
like everyone seems to be just not borrowing musicians from one another. It's all like sharing musicians and stuff. So
I guess.
that's Glasgow, isn't it?
It's
It's
just like
like,
a nice community. It's like a nice community. It's like Glasgow's a village. I think I kind of think of Glasgow more as like a kind of a series of villages, obviously with different people and different music, but definitely like it does sort. I'm sure someone did a diagram once that had all these different musicians in Glasgow and all the lines to different bands like Teenage Fan Club and like people. I've definitely seen that picture somewhere, maybe on a forum at some point. Like it's pretty amazing. So
yeah.
um yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good because again, with Simon as well, Simon Shaw, he's in Dragged Up.
That's
So
right.
at Preston Pop, he played twice because when he was in he played in Dragged Up and then he played at National Park.
Twice in one day. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just incredible. I mean, the more I go to Glasgow, the more I find out, the more I find out about Glasgow musicians. You just see them in various sort like bands. It's like, oh my God, I've seen them before. There was
You've just got another hat on this time, you know, or something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Do you ever get confused with like playing in Olympic State Choir and then National Park? Is it more or less sort of like similar genre, you'd say, or is it different? Different from each
That's a
other.
really good question. I would say no, but that's also because there was a reasonable kind of partition of time between them, but also like I guess there's a similar background in a lot of ways, but also like the songs are different. But that kind of thing has happened a wee bit to me, like previously, like when I was playing in the same. I'm sure there was a time I was playing. You know, like we've got the kind of festivals in Glasgow, like Stag and Dagger, and I'm sure there was a point when I was playing in Wake the President and Julia and the Diggins, like one in the afternoon and one in the evening,
Yeah.
and very different vibes, I guess. Like I think I could get away with wearing the same sort of flowery dress for it, you know, because that was sort of my kind of twee look anyway, I guess. But you
Yeah.
know, I guess you know, I don't know. I think when you, I guess it's easy for me because I'm not the singer. I'm playing the music, so I've still got personality to put in, but I'm not trying to be. You know, if I was, I think it kind of works okay for me because of where I usually am, especially when I'm at the back in the drums. It's
At the
fine.
back, yeah, yeah. Although I think for drummers, I think they really need to be at the front, or at least where people can see drummers. Because sometimes it's so hidden, especially if there are loads of musicians at the front, like maybe the singer and then three other drummers, a guitarist or something, and then the drummers sometimes get they get hidden as well like that. I really think that they should move them or at least be at the front as well. So like so the people can see them and things like that. But
I'd be
I
so
mean,
interested to know how many would be up for doing that and how many would be really against it. Because there's probably quite a few drummers who'd be like, I'm quite happy to stay. But you know, I don't know. We'd have to see. We'd have to do a poll
yeah.
to figure out, I guess.
Well, what's any news about National Park? Any other gigs that you're planning on doing or?
Well, we just did so we just had after Preston Pop we had a gig supporting Ryan Davis at the Flying Duck, which was incredible. Like they're just such a great band. And then we had a gig a couple of weeks ago at the Old Hairdressers, and that was with Jetstream Pony and Warren James
Of course.
as well. So like yeah, that was the most recent gig that we did, and like that was really special actually. Like we were all a bit nervous, especially because we had a good sound check, and it's another old rule: if you have a good sound check, you might. But no, we had a great gig, and I think like the sound engineer Duncan was amazing, and it was so chock-a-block. So like overwhelming but great, you know. So we haven't got any other gigs as far as I'm aware booked yet, but I'm really hoping that we will, because I'm loving playing drums in John's band. So I would like to do that. And there's a cassette tape, definitely that I don't know if it's out yet, but yeah, John's created recordings of, and so everyone in the band currently has contributed to that in some way. Not it's more toned down, so I'm not drumming on it, but I've got a backing vocal in there. Simon's put bass on it, Finn's put a piano intro on something, and so I'm quite excited about that, because I've never recorded, as far as I can recall, I don't think I've ever played on something that's been released as a cassette. So I'm quite excited about that, unless you count like the kind of like me and my sister when we were younger and we were playing with an old set recorder, you know, like making pretend radio shows. Like that's about as far as I've ever got. So yeah, I've seen it, but I'm looking forward to actually getting it and putting it in on my old cassette tape players.
And it's going to be released before the year ends.
Yeah, I might actually be it now. I should know this better. I think there were just a couple of things still to add, but it may be. You can find out again on socials, Instagram, and the like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So National Park, are they back for good now? Because I know that they said last year they were just so like coaxed into coming back together, forming or reforming for Jerry Love.
Okay.
Because but are they back together now, National Park, and will be doing more things?
I hope so. I think I would be the wrong person to ask, but I think fundamentally that would be a question for John. But I would hope so, because I'm really enjoying doing it. I would love to do more. I've already loved the songs for years, so, and it's actually just really fun playing these songs. Like it felt like really comfortable in the rehearsal right away. So I'm hoping that we will do more. It may, again, I feel like I'm being super cryptic. It's not deliberate. I think I kind of love the fact that, you know, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen, but it's exciting. So I'm hoping that we'll do more. I do hope so.
Yeah, I missed that gig because and you had Warren James as well, and I thought, but because it's a Saturday and I work on Saturdays, that's the only time I work, the only day of the week that I work, and I couldn't do it because I've already missed so many Saturdays. So I thought,
you already get to so many gigs, though. I think, you know, you're okay.
If National Park are playing again, you know, someday soon, then I will go and see you. Because whenever I go to Glasgow, I make sure that I go to Missing, and I say hello to Simon. although last Friday I went there and he's not in, because I think he does alternate Fridays, so he wasn't there last week. I saw him the Friday before that. He was there. Oh no, it wasn't that, because I went to Motherwell, so I didn't go to Missing. But no, he wasn't there last Friday, because I was going to ask him if he's got a question for you.
I mean, he could just ask me. I mean, like...
Yeah, said, "Oh, I've got Jennifer and asked the drummer, have you got a question for her?" But no, he's not around. So.
if you're listening, Simon, you can just ask me. It's okay. It's fine.
So, apart from Olympic State Choir in November, any other gigs that you'll be doing before the year end? Or,
I think I guess I've kind of mentioned it a wee bit. Like, so I run a not drumming. I hope it's okay to talk about non-drumming things, or is that against the rules? Is that okay? Yeah. Double checking. Double checking. So like this it's not Olympic State Choir, it's the community choir that me and my partner run. Like we took that over about a year or just over a year ago. It's the Glad Community Choir in the South Side, and so that's been like really, really fun. Like we're probably going to have a show. We're hoping to do it. It'll either be December or it might be January. And so right now we're just sort of preparing a set, and we're doing sort of a sort of psychedelic folk theme this time. So I would be sort of accompanying on piano, and then you would have you'd have a choir there, of course. And you would see my partner conducting. So that would be one thing. Other than that, I guess I think I'm sort of just taking it as it goes at the moment. Like I guess no other gigs planned yet. But
No, yeah. So what's it called? Is it called the Glad Community?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is it got something to do with the Glad Cafe, or is it different? Oh yeah, is that?
That's where we practice. Yeah. So like, and it's sort of all tied into like what you're doing, because like the proceeds from the gigs go to the Glad Foundation, which puts on like community music lessons and things. So, excuse me, it's all sort of interconnected that way. And yeah, so we practice every week in the venue space, and yeah.
And the gig is going to be at the Glad Cafe as well?
No, because if we did that, because there can be up to like 70 people in the choir, so then there wouldn't be really much room for the audience. So we would have to do a really small kind of cut down version of the choir, which they've done previously, because we only took it over last year, and before that it was like Alexis and Rory and also Andrew that were running it, and they did like sort of smaller shows, and they've done like collaborations with some pretty cool people over the years. But we usually do it at like one of the local churches, like maybe like Langside Church, so it'd be somewhere like that, a big enough space for a choir, basically.
Yeah. Oh wow! I love the Glad Cafe because it's one of those sort of like venues that quite intimate, and they do a lot of shows. Amazing in there. So I mean, recently I saw the Cowboy Mouth at the Glad Cafe as well. So
nice.
It's a very good place, and I think Altered Images played there recently.
I was at it actually. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was really like, because I've always loved, I couldn't call myself an Altered Images expert, but there's a few songs I really love, obviously Happy Birthday and I Could Be Happy. And when me and my sister were younger, we would sit listening, we would dance around the room to vinyl records, and I'm sure that Altered Images was one of them. We were doing kind of a music and movement thing to that. And so then when I saw them on the stage, I had to message my sister, because I felt bad though after, because she didn't manage to get she didn't get in to get a ticket, but it was to see them in such a small venue was like really special. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And actually, Finn, the national park, was in the sport.
Well, this is something I wanted to ask you. As a musician yourself, like you're a drummer. I mean, surely you can get in like as a guest to like guest list or something. Is that not part of the one of the perks of the job? Is like people, and you can get you can get to any gig that you like.
So I actually felt really naughty at that gig, because I did manage to get in through my partner, but then when I realised it was a charity event, I immediately went to the raffle tickets and got a whole bunch of them to try and make up for that back. I think definitely I have been quite fortunate, like, to get guesties for gigs quite often, like, and sometimes it's for gigs that I wouldn't like necessarily been aware of otherwise, especially through my partner, because like he does sound for quite a lot of different bands and things. So yeah, but I try to I think support your local bands as well. It's a balancing act where that's concerned. If I get a guest, I'll try and buy some merch, or I'll try and make up for it another way. Because
So do you go to a lot of gigs yourself?
I try to get to as many as I can. I think. Well, I've got tickets actually for it's the gig on Thursday, and I want to say in Mono for Radica. That's going to be really good. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, because I don't think I've had the chance to catch them live yet. And I met Sushil and Radhika at Glasgow's Pop. And,
yes. Oh, lovely. She's a lovely girl. Yeah. And really, Sushil really as well. Oh, I love Sushil. I love the Soup Dragon. So it's like a big fan of this.
Yeah, they're really cool people.
When you go to a gig, do you look at the drummer?
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I probably do. I think it depends really. Like, I think every band has something different that you might draw your attention to. Like, it might be that that one band that what's really interesting me is what their keyboardist is doing, or might be the drummer, and it's not even like specific to the whole set. It could be like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I kind of hone in on different things. I don't know. Yeah, I hope that's not too vague, but I think it's the truth. Like, I think, you know, I mean, I'm excited for that one because I know Mitch, I think I can say it now. I think it was a secret to, but I think Mitch Mitchell from the Pastels is drumming with Radica, so that, you know, definitely be because I've always loved Mitch's drumming, so like I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It also, this is something that I've noticed, especially recently, that there's so many like female drummers in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something? Because I know I said it last week to Robert Anderson when he was on the show that I
Mm-hmm.
don't really like separating so like either female drummers or male drummers because they're all
Mm-hmm.
drummers, right? You're all drummers. But I have noticed that there are more more bands in Glasgow that have female drummers than other, so like
Mm.
other bands. And it's good to know that there are more and more. I don't know what the ratio is now, but I think
I couldn't tell you either, in fairness.
yeah,
Um, I haven't done the statistics on it, but yeah, I think I can relate to that feeling of not really wanting to think about it in terms of female versus not. But then at the same time, I think there would be a naivety not to kind of look at it and say like, what's the reason why, historically, especially like at festivals, that is that bands tend to be more predominantly male, and why is that? I think I think it'd be also naive not to kind of be aware of it, and like again, I guess I had a weird kind of journey into that because again, growing up in that community group, it was pretty 50-50 on percussion actually,
uh,
in terms of female and male, and like at the college actually, I would say I think there's definitely a better balance than there used to be, that I'm aware of used to be.
yeah,
So hopefully that's a good sign that there's not a feeling, oh, that's a boys thing, or that's a girls thing. Because I've never really been a big fan of that mindset. Ever since I was younger, I've always kind of felt, no, it's a thing, girls or
yeah,
boys. It doesn't. I don't really think it. I never liked that. It always bugged me. Like I had toy cars and I had dolls, and so it wasn't one thing or the other. I think just it's yeah, that's how I feel about it anyway. So.
But in the years that you're in this music industry, you never felt like anyone sort of like said, "Oh, you're a female drummer," as opposed to
In a
um,
in a negative way, or just in a kind
yeah,
of observational?
comparing you to a male drummer. So have you ever experienced anything like that or not really? No.
If anyone ever thought it, they've never said it to me, which I'm really grateful about. I hope not. I hope not. I mean, I think that again, naivety may play a part here. Like, I'm sure that there are people who may have thoughts like that, but I can't. I think someone once told me, you can't change what people think. So I try not to think about that and just do
That's
what I'm
true.
doing, because I don't really like. I think it's that's the kind of mindset that I would struggle to know how to fight. I don't like, that whole. It's like that whole idea that historically that women have had to work harder than men to achieve things. I don't like to even. Well, I live in hope that that's not a thing, even though I think it probably is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just think it's just something that, as I can be an overthinker and a bit of an anxious person, so it doesn't help me to think about it. I just want to play drums, so you know. I just
Yeah.
kind of look out for my friends, and if I spot anything that looks sexist, I will be right there. That's true though. Yeah.
Yeah, I also, because when I started doing as a drummer, I always say I shouldn't say female drummers. I should just say a drummer. And my daughter said that to me as well. No, you shouldn't, because a drummer is a drummer. I said yes, of
Unless you
course.
say, I guess you could say male drummer, but then I don't know. It's just language is that's a historical thing. It's kind of like, I'm not involved in acting, but actor versus actress, I do wonder about that kind of terminology sometimes too.
Yeah,
So I think it's just about respecting what people prefer. I don't
yeah,
mind
yeah,
if someone happens to call me a female drummer. I'm not going to be getting annoyed about it, as such, but it's not what defines me, I would say,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was gonna ask you, what keeps you busy when you're not drumming for bands, or when you're not playing, or when you're not doing gigs. But you have mentioned already the choir things. Is that your main work? Is doing the Glad Community Choir?
That's actually it's relatively new. The main thing I'm doing through like my main job is so I work at a college. It's a college I studied at many years ago. So it's the one in Paisley, West College, Scotland. So I teach in the music department there. And it's
All right.
great because
You
I
play
love
drums.
it.
Do
Yeah.
you teach drums?
That's I start yeah I started out teaching drums and piano there and then gradually I got the chance to teach other classes, things like music theory and listening and such, and I just love it because I love the way these courses are. I think they're really it feels like you're doing it, instead of training to do it, so it's really fun. Yeah.
So, do you think anyone can play the drums? Or
It's a
is it something
philosophical.
that's natural? Have you ever sort of like told someone, I don't think you can be a drummer? Like,
Oh, that's okay. I think that this is a question that's not got a simple answer, right? So I think it depends what you're trying to do, right? Okay. So if someone's trying to be really like trying to do jazz drumming, but they don't have,
yeah,
they might struggle. But if they're trying, it depends what they're trying to do, right? I don't want to tell someone you cannot drum, but I might say this might suit you better, like this style of drumming. Like I could see that being a thing.
okay,
It's kind of, this is like a philosophical question to me. It's kind of like saying, that person can or cannot sing. And the idealist in me wants to say, I bet you could if we just work on it. The
yeah,
realist in me says, yeah, but sometimes it's not the right fit. And I think there's a balance somewhere in the middle there because I really want everyone to get the chance to try what they want to try.
yeah,
But obviously you want to be careful that you're not deluding someone either. So I guess there's probably a balance to be had there. But I just think everyone
yeah,
should get the chance to try what they want to try.
yeah.
Mm.
Because I always ask this question that to be a drummer, or it's like drummers are born drummers. It's like they have it in them that they're like naturally so like they know what to do. Give them a drum kit, they know exactly what to do with the drum kit.
I mean, I think there's like natural propensities to things that everyone like may have. Like, so like when I first I've stood there at 10, like with I don't know, the xylophone sticks, that it felt really comfortable really quickly. So that's true. But no one, like, I hadn't learned all this stuff that goes with that, like where to hit and how to do things like coordination on a drum kit. So I think that people will have natural propensities to things, but then that can only take you so far. Like, you've got to obviously, like, I think it's important to learn from other drummers and
Yeah,
learn technique because, or at least to the point that you like for what you're trying to do, so I think it's a bit of both,
yeah.
but I think if someone really wants to do something and they're motivated and hardworking, they probably can do it, they just need to put the time in. you know you want to be a drummer, like, are you yeah, you play good.
I tried it before when I was younger. So I
Uh-huh.
did do crash lessons, because what happened was, I used to work in the Middle East, and then there's two American guys said they wanted to form a band, and they wanted to have a female drummer.
Mhm.
So I was about to go on holiday, so they said to me, "Learn how to play the drums. When you come back, we'll form a band." And I thought, "Oh my god." That's like a dream for me. I wanted to be in a band, and I wanted to be a drummer. So I did. So I tried, like, I did some lessons. But I think it's just, I don't know whether I don't know how to do it. I don't have rhythm or something, but I just love watching the drummer. So when
Mhm.
my drum tutor was sort of like playing it, I said, "Okay, you try." It was like, "No, you carry on playing. You carry on playing. I'll just watch you." Until after about the third session, my brother, who used to take me to the drum school, this place, he said to me, "What did you learn?" I said, "Nothing. I just watched him." My brother is a drummer as well. I mean,
Oh
but he
wow.
couldn't teach me because
Uh-huh.
we didn't have a drum kit at home or anything, so he
Mhm.
couldn't really tell me what to do. So he took me there, and then when he said that, when I told him that I've not learned it, I just watch him because he's amazing. And he said, "You're wasting your money. I'm not going to take you there anymore."
You're paying for a private gig every week. You know, that's what you're doing. If you're getting something out of it, like that's all that matters. Maybe, I don't know.
I think you're right there. I mean, I just went there to watch a drummer do his thing, and then I was and then when I went back to the Middle East, I went back to the UAE, and then I saw this guy, and he said to me, "So did you learn how to play?" I said, "No." I was like, "Okay." So I don't know whether they actually formed the band or not, but I was like, I think they just sort of like, you know, just said, "No, we're not gonna do it," because they wanted a female drummer. I couldn't do it. I was like, okay. That's why I always say I think people, drummers are born drummers.
Interesting. I don't know enough about it. You will. I mean, you'll meet more drummers. Well, maybe you'll meet more drummers than I. So I guess you've got more data to draw from on that. I don't have an answer to that, but.
And it's like a lot of them, I'd say, of all the drummers I've interviewed, I'd say about 90% of them said that they didn't have any proper lessons. So it just came naturally to them. They just taught themselves. So they played along the songs, they drummed along the songs that they love, and then they just got it. So I couldn't do that myself. I mean, it's only now actually that I think I could tell the drum bits. Because I'm really listening to the songs. I mean, the one that I really love is Phil Collins's, yeah. And I thought, I wish I knew how to do that.
If you want any time you're in Glasgow, feel free to give a shout up for it could be fun.
Yeah. I'll probably just watch you say, "Go on, you play some more. And I'll just
So curious, if the tutor you had was not is it not your turn, or were they just quite happy just to keep playing for you? That's so strange.
And I think another thing is I'm so self-conscious because I see drummers and like you just look so cool playing drums. Like really natural, and it's just so cool. The way they move their shoulders and everything, the legs and things. But then when I tried it, it's like I look so awkward. It's almost like.
Are you practicing in front of a mirror? Because that's your first mistake. You got to get the awkward stage out of the way first, right? Because I don't know. Maybe some people immediately look cool on the drums, but I suspect quite a lot of people when they first start, it's kind of like learning to ride a bike or learning to walk. You're going to fall over a lot. Well, maybe not fall over. You know what I mean, though, right? So I think I don't know. It's always kind of like a little voice in me that's probably about 15 hearing the word cool immediately says, "You're not cool, Jen." So but I appreciate
Well, you are, and when I saw you play the drums, I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like I wish I could do those things. So and there's Lizzie from Homework as well. I saw her play drums in Manchester, and I was thinking, God, if I had carried on, with my lessons, I could probably do that as well. But no, I think I'm quite okay now, just loving the drummers instead of wanting to play or wanting to be a drummer. But anyway, so it's I've still got 4 more questions to ask you before I let you go, because it's over an hour now. So first of all, is do you twirl when you play drums? I mean, have you ever tried twirling when you play drums?
I'm not going to try just now. I don't think I would ever try and do that live. I just think it's not really my vibe. Fair enough. If people want to do that, I think I've tried it just in my own time, and I'm far too clumsy for that anyway. And so it's not. I mean, each their own. Not for me. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like a big one. That's for, what do you call it? Like a march?
Oh, this is a timpani stick. I quite like it because it's got a soft attack, which is quite good on cymbals. So I've been using that quite a bit. So I brought props. I didn't know if I would need them. I didn't know. I was nervous. I'm like, I'll have prop sticks just in case.
I don't normally ask. Although I've started asking drummers about their kit as well, because I said, ask about technical things because I don't know much about drumming, to be honest. But I just love drummers, but I don't know the technical side of it. With the drum kit, does it matter which one, if it's a house kit or if it's your own kit? Uh, does it matter to you, or does it make a difference with the sound that you want to produce for the band or for the songs?
I mean, I think it's going to make a difference. I think that the majority of gigs I've done over the years, it's often ended up being the house kit anyway. And so you just adapt because, or if not the house kit, it might be like the headliner's kit. So like sometimes you have to be prepared that you'll turn up and there's, if I've got a rack tom in a set that I'm usually playing, there's no rack tom, there's only floor. And you're just like, well, I'm just going to have to adapt that then. So it's definitely better when you can play your own kit. And so I do prefer that, but it's not like a deal breaker. I think as long as you can, ideally, if you can get up there and just have a wee look and, just, make sure you're comfortable. Like, obviously cymbals and drums have got like different sounds to them anyway, but I do prefer my own kit. I've got a little Gretsch jazz kit and I really do love the sound of it. And I got a new set of cymbals this year as well, some Istanbul ones, and they're really nice sounding as well. So I do prefer to use it if I can. Yeah.
Are you quite precious with your kit that you don't want other drummers to use?
I don't mind. I mean, maybe I regret saying that, right? But I mean, I don't know. I kind of, I think as long as people are, I guess it's funny that because I can be quite a light drummer, and then someone might come on, they're a lot heavier than I am. But I think it's nice to help each other out. Over the years, people have let me use their kits so much. I think that it's nice to be able to do that. So it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the next question is drumming heroes. Do you have any drumming heroes?
Yeah, I was finding that difficult to sort of pin down because I knew it was like, gonna come up. I think one of them's got to be I love Jim White's drumming. He's the drummer for the Dirty Three, and he's also done stuff for like Bill Callahan. I just think his drumming is so expressive and so beautiful, and it's not I think it just a big influence on me just in terms of trying to be free and have space in your music. So he's definitely one. Georgia Hubley from Yola Tango has got to be another. Also, she sings and drums, and I just love some of those albums, especially the earlier ones like Painful and Summer Sun, which is actually quite different in vibe. You've got your kind of bigger drummers, I guess, like people like Hal Blaine, like he was from the Wrecking Crew, and I think that's like an inspiration. Like the amount of music that he played on is kind of ridiculous. Looking at it again the other day, I was like, oh my goodness, like, okay, you played with Elvis, Simon and Garfunkel, the Beach Boys, Mamas and Papas, and it's all these songs that I absolutely love. And he's like a lesson in being adaptable and being like, that was the whole thing with the Wrecking Crew, though, wasn't it? Like, they were great musicians, but they were just like really focused on what they were doing, and it's got to be a big influence. So I wrote down like a list of names knowing that this was going to come up. So I was just like Mo Tucker, of course. It's like, I was like the idea of, thinking it's like, who needs cymbals anyway, kind of thing. Definitely an influence in like National Park drumming. Growing up, I was quite into a lot of jazz drummers. I would never like say, I would struggle to say I'm not a jazz drummer, but I like jazz drummers. Like there was a point where I really liked like the technical stuff like Buddy Rich, I wanted to play stuff like You Gotta Try, but I think as I got a bit older, I got into more kind of the cool jazz stuff like Jimmy Cobb on Kind of Blue, and just again drumming with loads of space, lots of use of like brushes and things, and I really like that because I think it's just tonally what feels most comfortable for me. I like drumming that's the kind of music I like to listen to, which is often really quite I'm getting that echo. Yeah, it's okay though. Yeah, it's like I like music with a lot of space. So yeah. Ringo Starr, of course. The best drummer Beatles could have had. That's just a sample because I'm getting that echo. I'm so sorry.
Right, we're back. We're live again. I do apologize. I'm really sorry about it. And we were just about to wrap it up as well. So.
It just went vaguely psychedelic for a moment. Like, I'm sure it was like lots of space, lots of space. That's what I heard over and over again in my headphones. And
yeah. Well, when it happened, the very first time it happened, someone says like Max Headroom. I don't know if you remember Max Headroom
Oh my
from
god, that's great. Just over and over. And that's
yeah,
that's fantastic.
yeah. And it's
Uh,
supposed to, with me sort of like with my head going like this.
sort of a strange descent into another place. Love
But
it.
anyway, we're talking about drumming heroes. If
Yeah.
you want to sort like yeah. Have you actually? I wanted to ask you: have
Yeah.
you ever met any of your drumming heroes? And do you get starstruck when you?
Well, so Jim White's the first one I mentioned. I've seen him play live. It was actually a wonderful surprise because I didn't know he was playing drums for Bill Callahan at that gig. It was at the QMU a year or two ago. And I'm
Yeah.
finally going to get to see the Dirty Three live actually next month, which is I'm very excited about because I feel like I've missed them every time they were playing. Let's see, well, I think that in terms of other heroes, like actually even just like more like kind of local heroes like Mitch Mitchell, like is super cool, so has got to be on that list, and people like Ailey as well,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, there's some on that list I probably couldn't meet. I've seen Yola Tango play a lot of times. I've not met Georgia yet. I would love to. I think I need to be like I'm just a bit nervous about the idea of actually going up to people, so I just tend to admire them from afar
Oh,
a
I
lot of
see.
the time, to be honest.
But with Katrina Mitchell and with Ailey, um,
Mhm.
when when you're together or when you talk to them, do you do drum talk or is that something that or it's
I
more of a
mean,
group?
I guess a little bit. It really depends. Like I don't really like I know Mitch better than I know Ailey. Like I don't really know Ailey very well at all, to be
Yeah,
honest. I've only maybe met her like very much in passing. But like I guess a bit like Mitch and I've like done a wee bit of exchange here and there. Like they've borrowed my ride cymbal and lent me their snare for Glasgow's pop. So there's a wee bit of that going on.
yeah,
So I guess a little bit. I don't think it's been a hardcore drumming conversation. I think it goes in other directions too, to be honest.
yeah.
Uh, Sort of a healthy balance, shall we say? Yeah.
Well, what do you think of like fans or people coming up to you and then asking like me asking for photographs or signatures and things like that?
I have absolutely no idea what to do when that happens because I mean it's not happened very much in my life anyway. There's just occasions where it has, and I just feel a bit sheepish to be honest. I don't really know what to do. It's really nice. It's you know what? It's always nice to know that you've like that somebody's like had a positive experience or feelings or like emotional response to something you've done. Right? That's always going to be good. I think a part of me is sort of I think I'm fine with the bit playing it, and then I go and try and speak to. And the speaking part scares me more than the drumming part, to be honest. But only just because
Oh,
of social awkwardness. And I really shouldn't be because you're lovely and it was very easy to talk to you in
um,
retrospect. But yeah.
no, I mean, I'm really glad I'm doing this Ask the Drummer because I am a bit shy as well. Sometimes I
Mhm,
go up, ask for photo or signature, and then that's it because I just don't know what to tell people, like especially
mhm,
musicians. I don't know what to say to them and things like that. So with drummers, I've always wanted to talk to drummers and to ask them about themselves and the bands
mhm.
that they played in and things like that. But most of the time when I see them in person or after their set, it's like, oh, can I just have a photograph and then that's it? Or maybe ask for their contact details so I can
Mhm.
send them information about Ask the Drummer. So it's been a blessing to me this this podcast.
Because of
So,
course it's like yeah, I always think it's like trying to expand that comfort zone, isn't it? That's why like I don't know if I would have agreed to do something like this a while back just because of my nerves. So I'm kind of glad that I did because it's like getting more
oh
comfortable with things that scare you a
yeah,
bit, and I think that's quite important in life, isn't it? Just do things that scare you a wee bit sometimes because I
yeah.
don't mean that you're not scary. What I mean is the idea of doing something like this was scary, but like then you've done it and you like actually it went okay.
Yeah,
And you
I'm
realize
so
you've expanded that boundary of what you're comfy with again. So I think that's good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got two more questions
Okay.
before I let you go. So one, well, I've asked about heroes, but in your years of playing drums, have you ever had any drumming disasters?
So, I mean, I'm quite a clumsy person, so I think in general there's probably the kind of standard issue getting a wee bruise here and there because I'm really good at bumping into things, but that's just a daily occurrence for me. I did once cut my finger on a cymbal doing a choke because it turned out the cymbal had a. So just be careful if you've got a broken cymbal. Don't leave that hanging because that can get pretty sore.
Yeah.
Um, but that's kind of most of it. I guess not. Again, it's not drumming specific, but I'll always remember my first gig with Wake the President because it was there was loads of cool people in the audience because I think it was supporting like the monochrome set, and we were just getting set up to go on stage, and about to start, and then my keyboard stand collapsed, the connection broke at the back, smash, and I was so nervous. I was a lot younger back then. I didn't know what to do, but fortunately, our sound engineer Steph was right on the ball, and he was right up there with and he took the keyboard onto a flight case, found a working connection, and got us up and going again. So thank you again, Steph, for saving the day. And it was actually I was so worried I was going to get shouted at, but after one song, I think it was Bjorn was just like, "This is Jen's first gig. She's already trashed the keyboard," but everyone had a giggle and it was fine. So I think things are going to go wrong, and I think as long as you've it's good when you've got people around or that you've kind of thought about backup plans.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's the main kind of stuff, really, isn't it? Yeah, but nothing.
Yeah, but nothing with the drumming. It's just the keyboard, so like.
Well, I mean, I've probably had. I mean, I've probably forgotten something. A stand collapsing or falling over, but you just kind of have to figure it out in the moment. Like stuff like have a stick bag, 2 hands, or extra sticks, so that if your stick does fly out your hand, grab another one, and then you're okay. So I think it's all about being prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
The reason why I'm sort of like thinking, I mean, why do I always ask this question about disasters? Because I think, because I think with the singers or guitarists, I mean, because they play the guitar. I mean, probably the worst that could happen is maybe their pedals not working, or maybe a
broken string or something.
Yeah. But with the drums, there's so many things that could happen. It's
broken clutches, skins break, or
and the drum, maybe the drum bass, or like you hit it too hard and then it broke and things like that. Or maybe there are also times when drummers have said that they've fallen over. Like and
sorry, I shouldn't laugh. That's not funny. I'm laughing at them, but it's funny you should say that because I feel like whenever I sit down, the first thing I do, because I'm so conscious that a lot of stages, it's the edge is right there. So the first thing I do at sound check, and it's like I'm making sure, because I'm exactly the kind of person that would just fall backwards. So touch wood, it has actually never happened to me, but I think that's because I know it could happen to me. So
but then they could still manage everything, because I have seen a drummer once. I saw it happen that he was playing the drums, and then all of a sudden I could see blood coming out of his face, and I thought, God, what happened there? So it turned out that the stick broke and it hit his face, and it was like blood, but then he just carried on, and I just find it fascinating that it's like, don't stop, just do whatever, and then
figure it out later. I've probably had something a wee bit like that, not to that intensity, but sometimes things can fall off the sticks. I think I just try and check stuff before a gig to make sure that that's less likely to happen. I think the days are gone where I've got a set of drumsticks that look like a hamster's chewed it, then I try to make sure that they're relatively good condition to avoid that kind of thing from happening. Although I know it's like to have a favourite set of sticks, even if they are getting a wee bit threadbare,
I don't know, maybe I'm just really, it's like, I don't want to call it obsession, because I'm not obsessed. I just find it really fascinating the way drummers play. It's very physical. It's like everything is like every single limb, like arms, legs, and everything. They're working, and then for you, because you sing as well. So there's a lot of this concentration, with your body and the voice, and so that's why I'm fascinated with drummers. So it's like it's absolutely incredible.
It's
And
definitely tricky,
still,
but it's fun, you know.
and you still manage to look cool all the time. And it's like, oh God, it is,
Someone needs
that's
to
why.
tell someone needs to tell 17-year-old me that, because she'll be like, what? But no, sorry, thank you. Yeah.
Well, okay. Final question now is, what would be your advice to aspiring drummers or musicians in general?
Okay. Because I was thinking, I guess that's a big one, isn't it? Because I don't think I would just say practice these exercises. I think it's more on a broader sense, like people who I know that are doing music, that are successful session musicians, that are playing in bands, that are still doing it years later. The main thing that they all have in common is that they're all really easy to get on with, and they're all actually really nice people. There's no drama. So I know this isn't specific to drummers, but I think one good advice is probably just like, try and avoid drama and just kind of just do what you love. You know, I guess what else? Just um it's good to try lots of beats from drummers that you love. Like you said, there's that kind of natural versus kind of improving upon yourself. I guess that's
Yeah.
also part of it too. I guess, one of the best things that someone said to me, it's actually a drummer, it was the drummer in that jazz band when I was in my teens, because I wasn't playing drums in that band, I was playing piano, and this is a guy called Bill Kettles. He was great name for a drummer, Bill Kettles, like right away you know he's a drummer, right? He was meant to drum, like he was born to drum, and he's a great jazz drummer. And when I left that band, I remember he sent me a message that I just thought was really super thoughtful, because he knew that I was like, my confidence wasn't really high, and so he said, look, there's always going to be people who are more technically proficient at you at certain XYZ thing, but that's not the point. Just keep playing with good heart, and keep doing what you love, and you're going to be fine. And I think there's something really true in that. I don't like to see music in a competitive sense. I think just keep doing, like, you're not in competition with anyone ideally. But just keep playing and keep practicing and just keep doing your life. I hope that's not too weirdly broadly philosophical, but I liked it at the time. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's brilliant. And also about the no drama. I think you hear so much stories about band members falling out and things like that. But it's
Who's got time for that? I just
yeah.
I don't. It's. I mean, maybe some people find that fun. I don't. I just
No,
want to have a
that's
nice time. I just want to have a nice time, play music, and meet nice people.
yeah.
So
And
pretty
Glasgow seems to be like that. Anyways, Glasgow musicians seem to be like they all support each other, and when one's playing, then someone's watching the band member. And sometimes I think because I went to see Montjuic, which is James Hackett from the Orchids.
Oh, nice.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, and the other members of the Orchids were there, and I did ask him at the end, does it feel, so like a bit intimidating with your band members watching?
Yeah. Was it? I'm curious about the answer there.
No, I think it's so like it's a very relaxed atmosphere anyway. It's one of those sort of like done in a shop. So
Yeah.
I think it's just fine, and you can tell that the other band members, they're all just really supporting him, and they're like cheering him on and things. So yeah, it was great because I remember, I think it was National Park when Ailey was drumming, and
Yeah.
Michael McLaughlin was there. And someone said to me, that's the original drummer of National Park. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, I wonder what he was thinking. They were thinking that, oh, that's not the right thing, or maybe, oh, yeah, that's brilliant. It's like,
Oh, yes, yeah. I mean, you know what? It's, I mean, I think realistically, there's always going to be, I mean, maybe there is, but I've never got that impression from Michael, or anyone else like that. I think it's just like we all doing something slightly different. We're all slightly different anyway, whenever we're all just loving to play music. And, I've played in most of the bands I've ever played in have had different lineups over the years. And I think, I think that's fine. I've always said to Laura, my pal, like, if you decide to go with a different drummer, I'm not going to be offended because, I don't want her to feel like she has to ask me. She might want to try something else. I think that's fine. I mean, I'd love to drum with her again, but I also respect that. It's like,
yeah. Well, that's good. But anyway, so November 20th at Oranmore, That's
Mhm.
Snow Goose, Lavinia Blackpool, and Olympic State Choir. So this will
That's
be
right.
your second now, the second gig.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'll see you there.
Great.
And yeah, and I'm so looking forward to having a photo again because I normally I I like having photos. So as you know,
If I look awkward, it's because I'm always awkward for photos. So I try
so
not to be.
no, well, thank you so much for saying yes, for agreeing to do Ask the Drummer, and I really, really appreciate it. So see you again soon
Yeah.
next month, and take care and enjoy the rest of the evening because it's the last one.
Yeah.
2 hours, 2 hours of Sunday.
Thank you so much for asking me to do it. It's been
Oh,
fun.
no, it's really, yeah, I'm really glad that you said yes. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure, but I'm glad. I'm really happy when you finally said, yeah, we'll do it. So, all right. Well, thank you so much again, and
Thank
take
you.
care. See
And
you
you.
next month. See you at
See
Oran
you
Mall.
at the
All right.
Ormar.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. And I do apologize once again for what happened. I think, I think with StreamYard, I mean, we've been having all these glitches, so like seems to be happening every week now. But hopefully, it won't happen next week. Um, I've got next week's. Oh no! Before I said that, thank you so much once again to Jennifer Hamilton, and for anyone who's not heard of Olympic State Choir, I'm telling you, I would highly recommend for anyone to go and see them because they're absolutely amazing. Glasgow's Pop, their performance is very, very short. Their set was very short, but everyone was just really amazed when they saw Olympic State Choir. So that's on the 20th of November at Oranmore. I do believe there are still tickets left. So please do get your ticket as soon as possible. And not only Olympic State Choir playing, there's Snow Goose as well, and that's Jim McCulloch of the Soup Dragons. I do love Jim McCulloch, and I do love Soup Dragons as well. So it's gonna be a good night. Um, Once again, thank you so much to Jennifer Hamilton. Next week, I'm going to be back with an American drummer this time. So it's going to be live from wherever he lives in America. I can't remember where he is, but yeah. So please do keep an eye out for the guest announcement post for next week, next Sunday. It's going to be in the UK. It's going to be in the evening once again because I've got another record fair to go to in the morning. So yeah, uh, guest announcement post on the Astro Drummer Facebook page. But for now, I'm gonna say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Uh, Maybe some of you are probably already gone to sleep, but in the Philippines, good morning to you all. Happy Mondays because it's already Monday there, and anywhere else, just enjoy whatever it is that you're doing. Um, as always, love music, love life, love drummers. They're absolutely amazing. And like I said, I always say they're like the coolest member of any band. So yeah, hope you come again next. Oh, hope you'll join me again next week. But for now, I will say thank you so much for joining us live and see you again next week. Bye for now. Bye.